Star Soldier is the first entry of the, Star Soldier series. Developed by Hudson Soft, it launched on the MSX computer and Nintendo Famicom in 1983. I assume this guy's the pilot, who has a serious case of Sailor Moon leg, and is clearly left-arm dominant. Like, seriously, what's going on here? Star Soldier came to the US just a few years later, and we got this dude instead. And you know, they made an effort to Americanize him. I mean, look, he's got a gun and everything. An American would definitely bring a handgun to a dogfight in outer space. The Star Soldier series is beloved by shoot-'em-up fans around the world, particularly the TurboGrafx 16 entries, which are often cited as must-have titles for that system. But we're not talking about those gems. Today we're discussing the humble beginnings of the series on the Nintendo Entertainment System. The game itself is a spiritual successor to the arcade hit Star Force, also known as Mega Force in the US, and shares some similarities to that game. The setup here is about as creative as you can expect from a space shooter, and of course you only know the story if you read the manual. Evil aliens threaten the galaxy with supercomputer-controlled ships called Star Brains, and the creatively named Big Star Brains. The best plan to combat this extinction-level event is to send in a single ship with no power-ups controlled by you, the player. The ship is named Caesar, which instantly made me think of Lord British of the Gradius series. Who is the true King of Kings? The game has you blasting your way through 16 levels, which all end in a boss battle with Star Brains, occasionally switching things up with a Super Star Brain encounter. As you'd expect, there are upgrades along the way which increase your speed, armor, and firepower. If you're fully upgraded, grabbing a power-up clears the screen of enemies, which is a nice touch. Probably one of the more creative ideas at play here is the Trap Zone system, in which the player can fly behind certain background elements, which protects you from enemy attacks while also rendering your own shots worthless. The big trade-off being that you often miss out on power-ups by doing this. It's a really cool mechanic that I wish more games would implement. I have to take a moment to praise the game engine here, as it runs buttery smooth with practically no slowdowns, and minimum sprite flicker, all while filling the screen with an insane number of sprites, explosions, and bullets. It's a really amazing engine to see running on such a weak system. Everything looks great. There's also a huge number of enemies with all sorts of creative AI routines, giving the player a nice variety of encounters. I was left pretty impressed playing through the first few levels of the game. Unfortunately, that's where my praise ends. This is also one of those Nintendo hard games, and it's all thanks to the absurd level design. In fact, this might go beyond Nintendo hard. I mean, look at this. Look how fast these enemies are moving. Look at these patterns. What the hell are we supposed to do with this? A turbo button is absolutely required to make any progress here, especially since weapon variation is limited. Star Soldier is also way too long for the level of difficulty. Gradius has 7 levels with 7 bosses, and almost no one has beaten it. Just a reminder, Star Soldier has 16 levels with the same boss encounters over and over again. To top it off, this game has no continues. There's absolutely no way to memorize these level patterns with such a limited number of lives. There's also apparently secret power-ups that no one would ever find without walkthroughs, like the super laser that can only be found in level 6, that requires you to hold the select button while you shoot at its location. Then you must hit it 16 more times to reveal it. It's not even that good of a weapon. And get this, there's a power-up in level 3 that allows you to rapid fire up to 16 bullets on screen. In order to make it appear, you must shout into the microphone of the second Famicom controller while you shoot at its location, and then it will appear after taking enough shots. That means it's impossible to get outside of Japan since we never got microphones in our controllers. How nonsensical is this? It really is a shame because the technology under the hood is excellent. With better level design and a continue system, I would love this game. But in the end, Star Soldier is too long, too hard, has a forgettable soundtrack, and offers little weapon variety, making it impractical to recommend to casual players. There is fun to be had for the hardcore crowd, but you're not going to learn any of the later levels without cheats or save states. Even then, I'm not sure anyone has ever beaten this game legit. Kudos if you have. I'm sure you felt satisfied with this stellar ending. Yep, that's it. A big F you for doing the impossible. They couldn't even be bothered to add an exclamation mark. I know I'm ragging on Star Soldier a lot, but I don't hate it. I actually had fun with my playthrough. I would even go as far as to say this is one of the better ship shooters on the system, but it really is a flawed game that I don't expect to return to anytime soon. Well, that was my 2 cents on Star Soldier for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Thanks for checking us out, you beautiful creatures. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a good one.